Isso, Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, part 47.
Molly woke up the next day and decided to go to the gym around 10 a.m. When she got there, she found an empty room, like one of those where they hold the group exercise classes, and she started her workout on her own. Now, at first, she was all by herself. That was until Joshua came into the room and set up his exercise mat right next to her. The gym was practically empty, and he could have put his mat literally anywhere, but instead, he came and sat right next to her. Surveillance footage showed Joshua walking up the stairs and peeking in the door of the room where Molly was working out. He walked away for a second before turning back around and going into the room with her. He was in the room for a bit before leaving again, and then he came back to look through the door at Molly. Now, Molly was really freaked out, and I think anybody would be in this moment. First, she saw him last night at the bar, and now he's at her gym? So Molly started texting her friend Amy and also her mom about what was happening. Amy told her that this definitely wasn't just a coincidence, and Molly felt the exact same way. She knew that the only way that he could have known her location was if he had been following her. So she decided to confront him. She asked him why he wasn't at work, and he told her that it wasn't any of her business. So Molly decided to move her things to a different area of the gym, but she kept texting Amy and texting her mom. She didn't know what she should do, but she was scared. Finally, she saw Joshua leave out of the entrance, and she started to feel a little bit of relief. Both Amy and her mom told Molly that she needed to go straight home, get the heck out of there. So at around 11 a.m., Molly started walking to her car in the parking lot. She didn't see him outside, but Joshua had apparently never actually left. He was sitting, watching, and circling the parking lot waiting for her to come outside. Molly got inside of her car, but before she could even lock her doors, Joshua ripped open the driver's side door, and he began attacking her with a knife, stabbing her over and over and over. A man named Benjamin Morton ran over and started yelling at Joshua to stop, screaming at him. Joshua was practically inside the car with his legs hanging out, and Benjamin tried to yank his legs, trying to get him out, but there was so much blood that his hands were slipping. He then started slamming the car door on Joshua's legs, thinking that might get him to stop. But Joshua just pulled himself further into the car, and he started trying to cut Molly's throat. Benjamin didn't know what else to do, so he got in his own car and he locked Joshua in so that he couldn't leave. But Joshua didn't even care, and he didn't even try to leave. When he decided he had stabbed her enough and he had done enough, he got out of Molly's car and he just calmly waited for the police to arrive. When they got there, they saw that Josh was covered in blood, and he simply stated, "You want me." He was arrested and eventually brought to a psychiatric hospital. Paramedics tried to revive Molly, but Joshua had stabbed her over 75 times and had also tried to slit her throat. So she was pronounced dead at 11:43 a.m. on June 29, 2017. Molly's friends and family started seeing the news about something going on at the gym and that a girl had been attacked and killed in the parking lot. The news didn't say who the girl was, but her friends could see Molly's location on Snapchat, and it said that she was still at the gym. Her friend Amy started putting two and two together, and she called Molly's mom to tell her what had happened, what was going on. Molly's mom called her father, who was out on a boat hundreds of miles away at the time, and he rushed back as fast as he could to be with his wife and be with Molly's brother Tom. A couple days later, on June 30th, 2017, Joshua was charged with murder, but instead, he only pleaded guilty to manslaughter. He claimed that he had multiple personality disorder and therefore couldn't be charged with murder because he wasn't in the right state of mind. And this is something we have seen with many murderers before. They try to claim this. If you remember the case of Letitia Stout, the woman who brutally murdered her stepson Gannon, she also tried to claim that she had multiple personality disorder in order to escape the charges. She even went as far as talking in a different accent, saying different names. I mean, it was truly bizarre. Oh.
All right, I think we've all heard enough here. Multiple personality disorder. Really? First of all, that's bullshit. Okay. I mean, first of all, I mean, this is a fucking horrific story. So you go on YouTube here, you're putting a dating app relationship ends in horrific murder. This is part of the channel Law and Crime Network, which covers a lot of cases, celebrities, normal stuff, like whatever, just a whole bunch of stuff. But this story is just fucking crazy. I know I joke around a lot on here, but this is just insane. And, this fucking psycho wants to use the whole, yeah, it wasn't me. It was one of my 12 personalities. I mean, first of all, I don't believe a word of this shit. Because obviously, I mean, you knew where she was. At least one of your personalities knew where she was and, where she was at the gym. And that's why you sat right next to her. And I mean, before they had a relationship and I don't know, they saw a lot of red flags before. You got to listen to the stuff here before I just play this one part because this is just crazy. The best advice I can give to a situation like this, if you're a woman or just anybody that's in a situation like this, right away, go to the front desk, call the cops, make sure you're obviously on camera. I mean, there's cameras everywhere nowadays. We all know that. But, don't leave the gym by yourself. Call somebody to pick you up. But even before that, call the cops. Get them there as soon as possible. Because clearly this person, was stalking her. And it's just insane. I mean, it really, and again, this doesn't happen every day. But it's something that, everybody should be aware of. I mean, okay, this could happen, to someone who didn't meet online, whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's crazy cases on here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've talked about it before. I've had some stalkers as well. I know you wouldn't know it by looking at me. Trust me. I look at me. Look at me. I am absolutely nothing special. Okay, but I've actually had some stalkers. It's the way I see it is it's in the person's DNA. It's got nothing to do with me. I think it's just their mentality and all that, whatever. So, I mean, this guy clearly had fucking, I mean, beyond problems here, and now he's using the split personality defense and all that, and it's just fucking crazy. So I just wanted to play that for you guys and just let you know that you got to be careful out there. Okay, obviously. And, if you sense something is wrong, don't prolong it, please. Tell somebody right away. Get a restraining order right away. Don't, because even before I was listening to the story and they said that this guy, I don't know, like it was weird. Like he didn't, like he celebrated Father's Day with their family and, but the father was only an hour away and like it was a whole thing. I don't know. It just, a lot of red flags. Let's just say that, But the point is, always be on your guard. Be careful. And, this online dating thing, again, I try to put up as many funny stories as I can. But, yeah, there's some fucked up shit on here, too. So, it is what it is. But just in the end, be careful. So, but, yeah, damn, that is fucking crazy. But anyways, rest in peace to her, and yeah, just ladies and gentlemen, please be careful out there. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna try to, keep this going here. But yeah, just be careful, guys. Honestly, it's pretty crazy. But you ever talk to someone online and you find like you already talked to them before and it kind of clicks in as you're talking to them, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember this picture and this one, and and this is a person I talked to before, and she put up really old pictures, and she still has the old pictures, and I'm talking old pictures. Like some people, I've talked about this before, but some people put pictures on here that are really old. I mean, like let's say it's today, they'll put up a picture from 10, even 15 years ago. It's crazy. I mean, I don't, I mentioned this before, like the one woman I was talking to, she said she met up with a guy and, the guy ended up being 20 years older, and it's just, I don't get it. I really don't like in the end, you eventually want to meet the person. they're gonna find out. Like, I don't know what the big deal is. Just put a recent picture of you. I mean, we're all shy. We're not all models here, but just a recent picture, something in the last even few months, worst case scenario. So, you know, but sometimes I wonder, like, I mean, does this person actually remember me? And I just keep talking. I'm curious. I just want to see if this person remembers. I mean, maybe it is a scam. I mean, who knows? Like, you never know, right? And then, and then at one point, I just ran out of questions, and I go, "What's your favorite color?" And she goes, like, "Is that a serious question? You're asking me what my favorite color is?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And then I think it finally clicked that I talked to her before, and she, took off there. But yeah, again, it's gonna happen. There's not much you can do. I mean, if you recognize the person, cool. If like sometimes, you talk to the person and you're like, hey, what's going on, and you want to. I don't know. Maybe someone you went out with before and you want to rekindle it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But in the end, it probably won't. But still, I mean, if you recognize the person, try to, I don't know, say something, But then again, sometimes you don't realize it until it's too late, and whatever. What are you gonna do? It's online dating. But anyways, but sometimes I come across a funny profile. It just makes me laugh. I don't know. But you can tell the person. You can feel the person's frustration. You can tell they've been through some crazy shit, and she's just it starts off simple. She's like, I have kids, and if they don't like you, I won't either. Make a good impression, or else. She has the emoji, the hand over the face. Um, she's like DC over Marvel. I mean, I'm not that much of a nerd. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. I mean, if this was like, 2019, I could say, I disagree with you. Now I don't know. Now they're both kind of sucking. Let's be honest. Superhero movies are not what they used to be, and you know, uh, thank God for Deadpool. I'll tell you that much. But you know, that whole Blake Lively thing and the I don't know, the Italian boy. What the fuck is going on there? Jesus. Listen, all I'm gonna say is this. Long story short, okay, I tried to gather as much information as I could about that situation there. I don't know. I thought maybe there was I'm like, would they fall in love or something? And Van Wilder stepped in there and wanted to beat the shit out of him or something. And then you're hearing stories of this is his first time directing, and she kind of stepped in there and wanted to take more control of the movie. And her version of the movie was the one that got released in theaters. And I mean, I still can't believe a movie that cost 25 million made over 350 million at the box office for a rom com, and I don't know, who knows. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of like I look at it like even a relationship. Even before you go online, you talk to the person, you find out what you want to have, okay, before you go in there, okay. And then you both agree to whatever, and then you move forward. Like, but same thing with making a movie. You're like, okay, I want this scene this way, this scene this way. We all have to be on the same page here. Like, you don't go in there and go, okay, well, you know what? I want to add this to it. I want to do this to it. And I don't know. It just seems like I don't know this. It was no short of a miracle that this movie made a shit ton of money. It's just it seems like a fluke to me, to be honest. And I don't know. Nowadays, I hear Sony doesn't make as many movies as they used to, and I don't know, I think they needed to hit more than ever. So I don't know. Maybe on some level they're prolonging this thing just to make more of a story out of it. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? The point is, when you make a movie, make sure what you got a plan before you go in there, and that's it. Plain and simple. I mean, who knows if any of these two are going to end up working anywhere again? I mean, because people don't want the same problems, and like anything online too. You look for red flags. That's the connection I'm going for. Sure, why not? So yeah, DC over Marvel. I don't care. Sorry, not sorry. Me too. Also, number two, and this is in caps here. I'm not attracted to your wife. Fuck off. Thanks. Okay. I didn't, I mean, I don't have a wife. I don't know. Maybe she was presented with, hey, we need someone for the threesome. That's I've seen other profiles like that. I mentioned before. I saw a profile one time, and the person asked me like, we need a fourth for the foursome. I no. Um, so maybe it's like enough is enough. It's gotten to a point where I used to read profiles and everything was like, hey, how are you? I like this, and that's it. Now it's just it's basically therapy. Go fuck yourself. I don't want this. Don't ask me this. Blah blah blah. Like you have to be very specific nowadays and what you want and what you don't want. So I don't blame this person at all. And then she says, question for the masses. Why does the woman always have to initiate conversation? And, in bold caps, I'm not good on sending nudes. And, in bold caps, don't want to be a digitally dick slapped. Wow. So keep your cock to yourself. Thanks. Assume I'm a fucking nun. First, or ask first. I'm sorry, I didn't want to fuck that up. Thanks, baby. Send me girls too, please. I want to learn. I mean, until the last line, it basically sounded like a very strict warning. But then the last one was kind of like, if you got some girls too, why not send them my way? Okay, it says she's American. Okay, I'm. Something tells me she might be a Trump supporter. Send her my way. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna teach her about the tariffs. It's all good. Don't worry. We'll never go to China. China. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't that bad, right? I mean, it's no Shane Gillis, but whatever. The point is, you can feel the frustration in some of these profiles, man, and some of them you can also, feel the fantasy too. But the point is, what is the point of this one? I don't know. Be yourself, I guess. I don't know. And let people know what you want, and don't be afraid to hide it, I guess. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have to tell. Yeah. Just tell. Yeah, be straightforward. Fuck it. I don't know, man. Like it's 2025. There's no hope for humanity anymore. But in the end, just be honest. I listen. I can't fault her for saying all this shit. I can't. She says, I don't want to be digitally dick slapped. I don't know what that means. I don't know that. I mean, does she mean like like maybe she's talking to someone on FaceTime, and then all of a sudden it opens up to, a dick smack. Oh, oh. I'm assuming that last guy was black. The point is just, if you could be, but then again, some girls don't, some guys don't want respect, and some of them do, but they say they do, and then they don't, and they turn it around on you, and then they're, in the end, they're still fucked. And look, just be honest with each other. That's all. Even if it's brutally honest like that, that's fine. Just, I don't know. This might be the most honest profile I've seen ever in my life. It's brutally honest. They know what they want, don't like. Then they, the whole, dun 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 dun, dick smack. Whatever. You know what? As long as you're honest with yourself, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that matters. That's it. Just keep it simple. Let's move on. So, this one woman I talked to, which I believe she's probably the complete opposite of the last one. Just a little simple, back and forth. Hey, how are you? I'm all thanks. How are you? Cool. How's the site treating you? I'm still here. What are you gonna do? I'm looking for a unicorn. Okay, but some people, look for unicorns to smack them in the face. The point is, everything just seems to be pretty normal here. And then she hits me with this. She goes, I'm looking for a romantic Christian gentleman looking to build a real future. How about you? Fuck. Listen, this site is more. There's Christian dating apps, and I don't know, more that are for this type of woman. So she's I don't know. I don't know, was probably expecting to go to church, but then she took a left turn to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Just it's not gonna. She's gonna get a lot of. She's gonna get a lot of shit. But and then I just text her back. I go, oh, Christian, shit. And then I text her, and because I know this isn't going to go well, and I need a story for this pointless podcast. What's the opposite of Christian? And then she said a non-Christian, and I said, LOL, funny. I assume you're not a Christian, and I go, no, I'm Greek Orthodox. I like having sex before marriage. And then she said, that's just a denomination of Christianity. Ah, perhaps we are wanting different things then. And then I said, I see. Do you have sex? And she said, I don't see how that's an appropriate question to ask a Christian woman. But then I said, but you see, it's appropriate for a half Greek, half Italian male, right? LOL. And then she disappeared. I assumed she raised back to heaven, and I went back to hell. But the point is, this, if you do the online dating thing, I've said this many times. It's the odds of you meeting a Christian. It's going to be pretty rare, man. Chances are it will not happen. I mean, it could. Sometimes you take the ring off your head and toss it, and you hit the bullseye. But most of the times it won't happen. It won't. It's going to get pretty bad. Chances are it won't happen. So yeah, fuck it. Then I talked to this other person here, and again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Can you please, she took a picture of herself. That's fine, but it's like I'm talking to Adele in 2010. It's just the head. It's like talking to a Futurama character. Take the whole. I'm not saying it's got to be a super sexy pic. It's not got. It doesn't have to be. I'll assume you have legs. I mean, whatever. But just so I can see most of you. That's all. I'm let's be honest. If you're a little chubby, I've been guilty of this too. On certain angles, you can kind of hide the double and triple chins. Beards do come in handy. But the point is, just take a decent pic, and then again, take a recent pic. And there's one person I'm talking to here. She seems cool, very cool. She lives very far away from me. The odds of this happening, unless she has a car, forget it. I'm just being honest. Shut up. We've all, been guilty of that. But anyways, then she sends me more pictures, and in her one picture she has dark hair. Another picture I don't know, almost looks like she's from Dollyville. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, just totally different look. Another picture, she aged about 30 years, all pretty much gray hair. She has a parrot on her shoulder. And then she tells me she's a little heavy. I'm trying to be nice about this. But again, the picture is just very misleading. And again, listen, you know, I'm a big guy. Have I fucked big women? Absolutely. It's Jadakiss said it best. If you pay like you weigh, then you can stay. That's it. But at the same time, I'm very straightforward in my pictures. You can tell it's there. I've lost a lot of weight over the years, over 100 pounds, but it's still there. Okay? It's there, Unlike my hair. It's no, it's not there. I'm sorry, I fucked that joke up. But the point is, it, it I got nothing to hide. I really don't. Like it is what it is. Okay? I'm 6'1". I wear anywhere between 225 to 230. You know, it is what it is. That's it. And then she's like, kind of throwing me the whole thing like, oh, you think I'm ugly, and it's what usually girls say after they send fat pics, and I don't date, so I don't know, and I also don't talk to a lot of guys, and it's just all the insecurities are coming out. You know what I mean? It's just it's all there, and then what are you gonna do? I don't know. We start talking again, and she's like, how are the girls down there? Any luck? And then I don't know. At one point, she's kind of implying that she wants a woman, and I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of problems here. You know what I mean? So basically, what I'm trying to say here is, ladies and gentlemen, is know what you want when you go online. Again, going back to the whole building a house thing. Like if one of you, wants to put a sauna in the room and the other one wants to put a stripper pole, I don't know, maybe you can agree and do both, but, just know what you're going to build before, you do it, and know what you want and getting yourself into before, you do all this shit. So I don't know. I think I don't think I'm asking a lot. I don't think people are out there asking a lot. So I don't see what the big deal is. I don't. But then sometimes you just talk to a person and, you think things are going well, and then they, I don't know, kind of trail off there. But that's how I met this one person. I was just talking to her for a little bit, and I don't know, it seemed to go south very quick, and I don't think she was getting the answers she wanted, and I clearly, like after talking to her, I said to myself, I'm starting to, hate my life, and and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me try calling her. We used to do this all the time in the '90s. Phone calls. Let's just see. Maybe through texting and messaging and all that. Maybe we can solve this even better. But then I called her, and this happened. Um, you know, crack was a big deal in the 80s, and then the 90s came and kind of introduced us to ecstasy, that later became Molly, and now we have a problem with fentanyl. Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is, two things. One, try to live a clean life. Just try your best. If you're tempted to do drugs, just remember this. And two, really get yourself ready, Christian or not, be prepared to put up with a lot of shit when you do, the whole online dating thing. Chances are it won't end well. I'm on, what is this, 47? Holy shit. I'm sure by 50 it'll, all make sense. But the point is, make sure what you want in life is the same thing that someone you're looking for, also wants. And, have thick skin when you do the online thing. And Oh, did anybody catch Adam Sandler at the Oscars? That was good. That was that was that was pretty funny. I mean, Conan took a cheap shot at Drake there, but overall, pretty funny. I thought it was I thought it was pretty good. But oh, what a great way to end the podcast. Well, this has been another almost ambulance free uh, podcast of Computer Love, part 47.
Let's have a warm LT welcome. Bobby Shea. Come on, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. Longtail.
Tell me, what is your secret? How do you find yourself in the right position all the time?
That's a good question. What happens is the center has the ball first, and quarterback will say hike. That's when the center puts the ball into the hands of the quarterback. So what I do is I start tackling the quarterback unless he get the ball to somebody else, in which case I'll try to tackle that person.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.